Well, good afternoon, and thank you all for joining us today to discuss the importance of genome sequencing in rare disease detection and diagnosis. I'm proud to author AB 114, the Rare Disease Sequencing for Critically Ill Infants Act. When we think of welcoming a newborn baby, we expect them to be born healthy, happy, and ready to live a full life. Unfortunately, some infants are born with critical illnesses that require serious medical attention as soon as their lives begin. In some cases, the root cause of the infant symptoms is not easily diagnosable, and doctors often have to resort to invasive diagnostic tests and procedures to determine what is making these babies so sick. In the most critical of cases, doctors have turned to genome sequencing, a revolutionary and comprehensive diagnostic tool that examines the structure of a patient's DNA and can point to abnormalities or extremely rare diseases that may be the source of the patient's illness. In 2018, as co-chair of the Rare Disease Caucus, we secured $2 million from the state budget to fund Project Baby Bear, a pilot project that explored the benefits of rapid whole genome sequencing if it was treated as a standard of care rather than as a last resort. Project Baby Bear sequenced 178 critical ill babies on Medi-Cal, and the results were very impressive. 35 rare conditions were diagnosed. Patients spent an average of 513 fewer days in the hospital, and 11 fewer major surgeries were performed. Genome sequencing produced results that helped doctors develop a more targeted management of patient care and ultimately saved the state an estimated $2.5 million on healthcare costs. Unfortunately, this life-changing tool isn't equally accessible. Private insurers have begun covering rapid whole genome sequencing. However, patients on Medi-Cal have only been able to gain access through donations or clinical trials. AB 114 seeks to close this disparity and provide rapid whole genome sequencing as a covered Medi-Cal benefit to critically ill babies 1 year and younger receiving inpatient care in an intensive care unit. I am proud to be partnering with Rady's Children's Hospital San Diego on this important legislation. With me today to share more about the science behind genome sequencing and the miracles it can create are two pioneers in the field. First, we're going to start with Dr. Patrick Frias, the president and CEO of Rady Children's Hospital and Healthcare San Diego. Dr. Frias.
Thank you, Assemblymember Maienschein, and good morning all. As heard, I'm Dr. Patrick Frias, President and CEO of Rady Children's Hospital and Health Center. In 2018, Rady Children's was delighted to be selected by the state of California to lead Project Baby Bear, as noted by Mr. Maienschein. At Rady Children's, our team at the Genomics Institute had pioneered the use of rapid whole genome sequencing to diagnose and guide personalized treatment for critically ill babies in intensive care. We have seen firsthand the life-changing difference that this advanced genetic testing can make for infants whose conditions defy diagnosis through traditional means. And for several years now, and since the completion of Project Baby Bear, Rady Children's has been helping to subsidize sequencing for some Medi-Cal babies and other babies that have this uncovered benefit. But that truly is not sustainable in the long term. And now, through AB 114, California has the opportunity to extend this benefit to a subset of critically ill infants in intensive care units across California via expansion of Medi-Cal coverage. Not only will AB 114 help critically ill infants and their families, but as demonstrated via Project Baby Bear, it will also save the state on Medi-Cal spending. Before I conclude, I would like to recognize and thank Mr. Maienschein for his leadership in Project Baby Bear and also in authorizing this bill. You have made a huge difference in the lives of many infants and their families. And now I'd like to introduce the person who pioneered rapid whole genome sequencing, Dr. Stephen Kingsmore, the CEO of the Rady Children's Institute for Genomic Medicine. Stephen?
Thank you, Dr. Frias. Hello, members of the press. It's great to be here today. I'm so excited to tell you about the results of Project Baby Bear and how decoding a baby's genome can save his or her life. What you might not know is that defects in our genome code, the code of life, also called DNA, are the leading cause of death in children less than a year of age in California. And we now have a technology that can make substantial inroads into that. There are over 6,000 different genetic diseases. Some of them you've heard of, such as sickle cell anemia or cystic fibrosis, but most of them you won't have heard of. And what happens is a baby is born, becomes critically ill, and the doctors have to identify which of these 6,000 potential causes of this baby's illness is actually triggering their symptoms. And if they can find that out in time, they can give life-saving treatments. And in many cases, that child can go on to live a normal life. Well, that's what rapid whole genome sequencing does. It allows us in as little as a day to decode the entire baby's genome and to pinpoint the cause of their medical condition. And that allows us to go from generic treatments that target symptoms to targeting the underpinning cause of their illness. Thanks to Project Baby Bear, California is a leader in this. The legislature asked us to prove out that this would work in the real live world across our state, and particularly in Medi-Cal beneficiaries. And we did that. And as Mr. Maienschein said, the results were really successful. We showed that this would save the state in about 2,500 babies each year, about $28 million, and add over 540 quality adjusted life years to those children. So I am super excited and super grateful to Mr. Maienschein for introducing this bill, which would make this in perpetuity a covered benefit for California's youngest and most vulnerable children. Baby Bear's over, and tragically right now, we're not able to offer this technology to those same hospitals that were funded under Baby Bear. We want to get that restarted, and we want to expand it to every children's hospital in California, so all of California's children get this start to life. Well, I want to introduce to you Armando Martinez and his wife Pamela, and their little baby Nathan was one of the babies who we studied in Project Baby Bear and were able to give an answer to. Armando, thanks so much for joining us today.
No, thank you guys for having me. I really appreciate it. So I'm going to start by just telling a little bit about what happened, how we got here. Our son Nathan was born with a rare genetic disease that affects fewer than 1 in a million kids worldwide. For the first 2 months of his life, we're in the NICU, and we never got any answers as to what was going on with him. He had a lot of seizures, digestive issues, and many tests came back with no answers. At this time, my wife was feeling guilty. We're scared, we're alone, we're not sure what was going on, and we're just basically lost, looking for a needle in a haystack. Doctors immediately transferred Nathan to a different hospital in Valley Children's Hospital in Madera, and that's where he was sequenced under Project Baby Bear. The whole genome sequencing finally provided a diagnosis, which is Q-dyslaxa type 3. I've never heard of that in my life. Neither had many of the doctors there. But there's no cure. There's no cure for this disease. But it did answer a lot of questions, you know, because of everything that he has, how he looked like and everything. A lot of things started to make sense. If it weren't for whole genome sequencing, we would have, we'd still be looking for that needle. So we're happy that we found that needle in the haystack. Today, our son is 2 years old now. He needs 24/7 care, nonstop care. And it's sad, but at least we know what's going on with him, you know, and what his needs are. We're grateful that for the knowledge of this diagnosis, because I'm able to raise awareness for this. And I'm also able to educate a lot of doctors, a lot of medical professionals about what's going on with Nathan. And I wouldn't be able to do that without a diagnosis. We think all families like ours who have a baby that's struggling to survive with any disease, we deserve answers, peace of mind, and we want to know what's going on, and we want to be able to have all families benefit from this advanced testing. So thank you guys.
Well, thank you. And I want to thank all of you for attending today's virtual press conference. We're very excited about AB 114. I want to really give a shout out to Rady Children's. to both Patrick Frias and Stephen Kingsmore for all the hard work that they've done with Project Baby Bear. And we did, as Dr. Kingsmore said, we did prove it. What the pilot that we ran last time with Project Baby Bear, we showed the California State Legislature what could be done. And we get to see Armand with beautiful baby Nathan there as proof of what can be accomplished. So we look forward to, as this goes through the process, hopefully that this becomes law and we continue to see the fantastic results that we've been able to see so far. So thank you all for attending today, and we look forward to seeing you all again soon. Take care.